Greetings, folks, and welcome to the fifth chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Disney and Fox have teamed together to combine every last bit of fan service and nostalgia into a blender, press puree, and then serve you a chaotic concoction featuring Deadpool and Wolverine. This is the solution to your question if you've ever wondered what a movie written by a raccoon addicted to coffee may look like. Now grab a chimichanga, and let's explore this exquisitely bizarre work of art. Deadpool grimly unearths Wolverine's adamantium-laced skeleton in a snowy cemetery in the first scene of the film. It seems like something from a gothic horror film, but Deadpool's constant commentary turns it into a brilliant bit of dark comedy, of course. He's about to launch into a speech about the pointlessness of life and death when operatives of the Time Variance Authority, TVA, abruptly stop him. What comes next is a masterfully staged combat scene in which Deadpool uses Wolverine's bones to take out TVA officers. It's obscene, irreverent, and it sets the tone for the entire movie brilliantly. Deadpool's unstoppable charisma and fourth-wall-breaking humor bind a loosely connected sequence of sketches together, which may be considered the plot. Disillusioned and experiencing a crisis of faith, Deadpool chooses to crash at Stark Industries in an attempt to find meaning in his life. Let me introduce you to Happy Hogan, the manager of Iron Man who is always too busy. A highlight of the film is the banter between Deadpool and Happy, in which Happy says a brilliant thing about what it really means to be a hero. Spoiler alert, the goal isn't to save the day. Rather, it's to make cameo appearances and promote action toys. Deadpool accepts a job as an automobile salesperson after being rejected by Stark Industries. It's both funny and uncomfortable to see him swear and make inappropriate comments while attempting to sell minivans to shocked parents. Deadpool's connection with a new coworker gives this subplot, which could have been a lighthearted joke, unexpected depth. This secondary character gives Deadpool the motivation to take back his identity, setting up a touching but twisted redemption story. The X-Men and Deadpool reunite in his one-bedroom apartment in an odd mix of superhero drama and sitcom. His elderly roommate, Blind Al, his hesitant mentor, Colossus, and his ex-girlfriend, Vanessa, combine to create a dysfunctional family dynamic that is funny and heartwarming at the same time. This meeting swiftly turns into a therapy session as Deadpool rants about contemporary concerns like abortion, freedom of religion, and individual privacy. It seems as though the authors chose to compress a whole Black Mirror season into a 10-minute dinner chat. Deadpool continues to have razor-sharp humor and increasingly frequent creative fourth-wall breaching. He smashes the fourth wall with a sledgehammer, not just cracks it, drawing us into a parody of the histories of Marvel, Fox, and Disney. He even stops the film at one point to vent about the ridiculousness of his own existence and superhero movie cliches. It's really effective despite being meta upon meta. In one very funny scene, Deadpool makes fun of his redundant abilities and the never-ending superhero reboot cycle. He questions why they keep coming back for more of the same, speaking directly to the audience. He quickly responds to his own query with a montage of the silliest superhero cliches. It's a deft approach to celebrate the genre's ongoing allure while simultaneously acknowledging its shortcomings. The holy chronology and TVA tricks. Let me introduce the bureaucratic monster, the TVA, whose job it is to preserve the holy timeline. The antagonist of the movie, Mr. Paradox, tricks Deadpool into thinking he is the one selected to repair the timeline. The ambitious proposal by Paradox to use a time ripper machine to sabotage time travel seems like a last-ditch effort to give the otherwise chaotic plot some sense of purpose. Ever the doubter, Deadpool eventually takes Paradox's remote control, taking us back to the graveyard where he's using Wolverine's bones to dismantle TVA officers. It seems as though the authors chose to combine every time travel cliché into one and let Deadpool handle the resulting mess. Deadpool's crazy journey to find a Wolverine in several other universes is a hilarious experience in and of itself. He meets several Wolverine incarnations, each more strange than the last. In one version, Wolverine is a pacifist monk. In another, he's a flashy rock star. And in a third, he hosts chat shows. Every confrontation ends in a most brutal way, with Deadpool either narrowly escaping or dying. In a dive pub, Deadpool eventually finds a broken and inebriated Logan. There is nothing left for this Wolverine to fight for because he has lost everything. Their relationship, which is full of vicious fighting, hesitant friendship, and dark humor, is a highlight. Not only is it funny to see them fight like a long-married couple, but it's also strangely endearing. Following their escape from the TVA, they pair up with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm and battle-iconic X-Men villains like Sabretooth. That's right, Captain America once more assumes the persona of the Human Torch, because, well, why not? With its abundance of references and Easter eggs, this part of the movie reads like a love letter to its audience. There are numerous bloody, gut-wrenching sword fights in the extravagant action scenes. The final fight sequence is both stunning and ridiculous, with each fight scene being more ridiculous than the last. A nerd's goldmine are the cameos. The evil twin, Cassandra Nova, manipulates people's thoughts and draws our heroes into a psychological war zone. One of the most memorable scenes in the movie is a huge fight scene that includes every possible Deadpool variation. Cowboy Deadpool, Femme Deadpool, and even Dogpool are among them. Each brings a distinct flair to the chaos. This scene demonstrates the movie's dedication to accepting its own silliness and expanding the bounds of what's conceivable in a superhero movie. The final showdown with Cassandra Nova is a sensory overload of wild visual effects and narrative chaos. Infiltrated by Wolverine and Deadpool, Alioth is a place where she is protected by an army of mutants. A motley crew of mutants with strange abilities, including a magician who can decapitate people with playing cards, and X-23, the young clone of Wolverine, join them. The conflict is made more complex by Cassandra's mental tricks. She attempts to persuade Wolverine that he is a failure by playing with his mind while also promising to free him. But Wolverine rejects her influence and gives a powerful speech about overcoming his past. In an otherwise chaotic picture, it's a rare instance of authenticity. Deadpool and Wolverine argue about who will give their life in the fight to halt the Time Ripper machine. In the end, they work together to neutralize the machine by combining matter and antimatter. The spectacle is unquestionable, but the science is questionable at best. After Cassandra is vanquished and the Time Ripper is neutralized, the TVA officials intervene to take Mr. Paradox into custody. Despite their unconventional approaches, Deadpool and Wolverine are praised as heroes. In homage to the original Avengers film, they eat shawarma to celebrate their triumph. With Deadpool forcing Wolverine to come to his house to meet his friends and family, the film closes in a suitably irreverent manner. The movie closes on a very touching note as Wolverine urges Deadpool to make amends with Vanessa. It's a testament to their unlikely relationship and the growth of their characters. In typical Marvel style, this scene after the credits hints at more mischief to come. Alone in the TVA, Deadpool can be seen tinkering with Paradox's remote control and considering his next move. Fans can't wait for the next chapter since it's a tantalizing tease at more adventures to come. Deadpool and Wolverine is a hilarious, ridiculous, and meta commentary on the superhero genre all combined into one film. It's both an homage to the fans and a jab at conventional narrative. It's a worthwhile experience if you can tolerate the craziness. Let's toast to Marvel's Phase 5. May it always surpass our expectations and bring the chaos we've been longing for.